Today I'm going to show you a way of casting on using 4 double pointed needles for knitting on the round. I prefer knitting on the round with 4 points because you can do various things with that. I mean, I'm in the process of making some socks which are nice and easy. They're a lot easier than what people think they are to make. They are very straightforward, but even the patterned ones can be straightforward because when you're doing a purl stitch, as in the main body, just here, you're doing the same stitch every single row. So this would be knit round, knit round, knit round. On your purl, on your your rib, you just knit and purl on the same stitches all the way around because you're just doing it on the one side. So even doing the heel is nice and easy because all you do is just separate out stitches, knit down there, pick up. There's no joining of wools unless you're changing colours or doing a pattern using different kind of wools. It's one single thread of yarn all the way through from top to bottom when you're just using one single colour or multi-shade or wool, as I have on this one. So what I generally do when I'm using 4 pointed needles, I put all my stitches plus an extra one onto one needle, and then I will separate them out as fairly evenly as I can over the next 2 needles. So separate them out. Oops. Try not to drop any. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. So if I say 20 on the first needle, what I'll do to try it, so because otherwise it could end up like that or something, I put it through the last stitch on the needle. So to keep it sitting the same way, so this is the top, that is the top, and that will now stay in that position. And I do the same on the other side. So let me just get that, make it so we can't lose the stitches off the end of the needles. Get it round the right way. And do the same on this side. Put about 20 over because I've got just over 60 stitches on here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, that one's not quite gone properly. 8, 9, oops, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so I've got 20 on those 2. So again, what I'm doing is I'm putting it through the last stitch just to make sure it stays up the right way. So this now all sits the same way up. So that's the top of that one. It won't, you can still move it, but you can see that it's twisted. I know it's not very great wool to be using on this background, but this is where I am on the coloured yarn. So it will twist, but you can see that it's twisted and got mixed up. Whereas if you just don't do that, it will twist and you can't always tell it's twisted. So then now I need to join the round. So I need to swap one stitch over from one end to the other just to join the round. So you can't necessarily see where you started. In this case, I can see where I've started. It's this one here. There's a bit of a jumble, but it's fairly flat on the top. Now, if you're not careful, you can end up with a dip. And for years, I've knitted that like that, using it and just correcting it with the sewing in the end. So, right, we need to get this right. So I need to leave that stitch on a needle. So I need to get my head in the right place for this one. So we pass the first cast on stitch onto the last needle. Then we take the last stitch, which is the extra stitch I added on, and pass it over. So you're passing it over as if you're doing a simple decrease like that, and then we pass that one back onto the first needle, and then we pull that because that's your thread. Now try and stop losing the needles, I push that one back up. And then we're doing a rib on this one, so I start with a knit. It is a bit awkward when you get, once you get going, it's fine. It's just a bit awkward when you start going. So we just do a knit and then a purl. Knit and then a purl. All the way around for the first round. So I will be back in a sec with the first round completed. So that's the first round completed. I know I haven't chosen the best sort of yarn to use because I'm just knitting a pair of socks, so I thought I would do this. So there we go. And as you can see, it's come out quite level there. There's no dip. Quite often, if you don't do some form of passover of stitch at the beginning, you do get a dip here. But actually, this has come out quite flat now. Comes out quite flat there. And as I said at the start of the film, when you're doing knitting and around, you just do the same stitch over and over again on the same place if that's how you want it to look. So my first stitch here was a knit, so I do a knit again. It's not the same as working with 2 needles where you do a knit and then a purl, knit and then a purl to make your rib. To make your rib this time, that will be a knit, that will be a purl, the same as it was when I started. Okay, so I hope that was fairly informative for you. I'm not going to do any more rounds on this video, but I can show you an update at some point using probably more clearer wool. I'm doing a hat because I do hats on the round as well. It's probably going to be more clearer on around, but that's just to give you an idea. If you put the needles through to hold everything straight when you do your cast on, it keeps it straight, and you can see then if it's twisted and then you can correct it. I hope this was an informative video for you. If it was, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.